they were like, yo, you can't just disrespect us and go to Washington and you just played this dude that told on a lot of people from our neighborhood and they just got aggravated. So I think Cam was just playing that. I wouldn't have done that. Because when he got shot, what the was you doing there in the first place? With a drop top. And you just played this man and you going around the neighborhood where people are gonna be triggered. And he got people triggered and they pulled the trigger. And hopefully he's learned, don't do no shit like that. That's why I don't have any convertibles. You know what I'm saying? It's because it could hit you, you know what I mean? That's crazy. To go into that hostile environment after you've done these things and stay for days, you know, you might get shot.
I ended up actually going to jail behind that shit because I was on probation at the time. And they was like, if you don't cooperate, then we violating your parole because you wasn't supposed to be in DC anyway. I told the judge I was working, and I said, you gave me permission to leave anytime I'm working. And the judge was like, you have to get permission every time you leave. I said, well, I misunderstood. And he's like, well, now you understand, you're on the Rikers.
October 23rd, 2005 at 2 a.m, Washington, D.C. A man in a royal blue Lamborghini is sitting at a red light. He's wearing $200,000 worth of diamonds. Harlem's biggest rapper at the peak of his career. A burgundy Ford Expedition pulls up alongside him. A passenger leans out, demands the car. They shoot him twice.
The suspect got back into the Expedition and took off.
Let me show you, since you're so ample about it. Hold on. Let's show you real quick. I got surgery right here on the arm. I also got shot in my other arm to where it went straight through and didn't hit a nerve. That's why this arm is okay. I also got shot in this arm.
Both arms, through the window, and Cam, bleeding from both arms, drives himself to the hospital. When reporters met him outside, he said only this.
They tried, somebody tried to take my car from me, shot me through the window, and I rode off. That was basically it. It was a sloppy job on their part.
To understand what he lost, you have to understand what he had. Camron Giles grew up in East Harlem.
Check it out like this, yo, I'll leave you injured. Sometimes I'm only rented, consented. Decide his lynches, kill you senses with syringes. Cause where I'm from is from the slums are busy. But this bum is risky. If you have to sip me, I'll be strong like rum and whiskey. Man, haters can't fake with guns and pass straight. Ask the nigga from the last way. Finish them like a fast break. You couldn't mine across the borderline. You done this all the time. And when I order mine, we resort to crime. Guns and drugs were sent to me. The right route wasn't meant to be for centuries. My family been disabled mentally.
Before Dipset, before pink fur coats, before any of it, he was running with Children of the Corn alongside Big L and Mace. That team alone tells you everything about where he came from, Harlem.
From the block, man, what's up, man? What's up, Dave? Man? Everything all right? You know what I'm saying? Like the weed help us feel the music, you know what I'm saying? So we about to go up to the lab right now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. What you gonna do? Check this, yo. About to show how we do it, know what I'm saying? How we do it, say. How we do it, no check, yo. It don't matter what you do or say. We capping you, kilo capital. Harlem, USA. Yo, you got to back up, or you'll get smacked up. Or better get slapped up. I dare to ask to act up. You hear me? Yeah, I'd rather off that you near me. I'd rather have you fear me than have your mother fear me.
By 2002, he was on Rockefeller Records, Jay-Z's label, the most powerful rap operation in the country. And Cam wasn't a passenger. He was a problem. Purple Haze in 2004 is still considered one of the greatest rap albums ever made. Pitchfork put it in their top 200 albums of the entire decade. His pen was untouchable.
Yo, doggy, what you gonna do, doggy?
Fuck you mean what I'm gonna do? What you gonna do?
The black shit is a rap. Doobie and Pins, it's over for that. We ain't go down to Sony building and slap them niggas up for nothing.
Nigga, that wasn't for nothing, that's for fun. I like slapping them executive fake niggas up, Gary Beach and them niggas.
Right now, we free agents, and it's buzzing. Rumor is, Rockefeller been trying to holler.
So what you want me to tell you?
I fuck with Dame, dog.
Hold on, I'm gonna let my microphone come and let you know too.
That paperwork, dog.
Nigga, fuck is you talking about paperwork? Who I'm calling my lawyer right now, let you know in 2 minutes what's going down.
I was talking about that other paperwork. Yeah. That's other paperwork.
Yeah. What's up with that? It's done? It's done. All right, I signed with the Rock.
That fast?
That fast, nigga.
Oh, so
that.
for all y'all to know, it's Doobie and Pins, Harlem back out.
Yeah, that's that. You good?
I'm good, doggy.
I'll let your dog then.
Holla, Harlem. Lenny S, let's do this. Rockefeller, Diplomat, Killer Cam, Jim Jones. Holla.
The Diplomats became style icons. They didn't just make music, they built a movement. Pink Mink, Dipset bandanas, Diplomatic Immunity debuted in the top 10 of the Billboard 200. The streets loved them, and the mainstream couldn't ignore them.
As soon as I got out of Epic and went with Rockefeller, with Dame, he taught me the business, and Dame would have never jerked me. We just, in the beginning of his music career and my music career, we just wasn't seeing eye to eye from some other shit in the street, brother shit, nothing bad. But when music started, we just wasn't seeing eye to eye, and it wasn't cause of music, it's just personal. I was like my brother, brothers fight. Yeah. But I humbled myself and went to him and was like, yo, man, I'm sorry. I need your help. You up. I really need your help because I believed in what I was doing. And he's like, don't worry about that shit, and put me on.
At this moment in 2004 to 2005, Cam is everything. He has the music, he has the team, he has the culture, he has the respect. And then a bullet at a red light changes everything. Howard University homecoming weekend, October 2005. Cam had performed the day before and was heading out late night from a D.C. waterfront club. His entourage was trailing him in a bubblegum pink Range. At the intersection of New York and New Jersey avenues, a car pulls up. A man demands his Lamborghini. Cam refuses and tries to pull off. One bullet enters the driver's side window and passes clean through both of his arms while he's gripping the steering wheel. He doesn't stop. He drives, going the wrong way on streets, flashing his lights, until a fan recognized him and drove him to Howard University Hospital. He was treated and released the same day. 6 witnesses, his own entourage. Half a dozen people in the cars behind him saw everything.
Basically, I went down to D.C. It was Howard homecoming. I was just really going to hang out because I knew I wasn't booked that weekend, but I was like, I'm going to go hang out. I knew Jim and Jewels had parties, so I'm like, I'm going to go fuck with them. Went down there to hang out, had a good time. We went down there pretty deep, It was, I probably had like 6 cars with me. I was in my Lamborghini. We had the Rovers. We had the limousine excursion, not a limousine, the excursion with the party. We was pretty good. And basically, I pulled up at a red light. Me and my bro Hud, God bless the dead. He didn't die that night. For those that didn't know, he passed away since then. And we was at a red light, and a guy pulled up next to me and pulled a gun out, and he's waving the gun in my car. A Lamborghini's low to the ground, so I thought it was an undercover police officer because it was so many people outside. It was, this is how a homecoming, the streets was packed. It was a lot of niggas. So I'm like, yo, Hud, you see this nigga waving a gun? And he's trying to open my door, but my doors is locked. But I didn't think nothing like, this gotta be an undercover because a nigga waving a gun, this brazen, so to speak, in front of this many people, it had to be undercover in my brain. So I said, Hud, look at this nigga waving a gun, what's up? So Hud, people who know my brother Hud, it wasn't funny, but the way he said it was funny. He's like, Gil, he called me Gil. He's like, Gil, you think you want to get out of here, maybe? So I was like, word, because I didn't know if it's undercover or not. And for those people that know, I had the Gallardo at the time, the Lamborghini Gallardo. Once you stop for more than like a minute, the car goes into neutral automatically. So when I went to step on the gas, the car wasn't moving. And once I revved the gas, the nigga just started dumping in the car, shooting. And then I hit the paddle, got out of there, pulled off, basically got away from them. I was with some other people behind me. I skirted on everybody because the homeboy started dumping. And like I said, he did that shit in front of, it had to be like 600 people just on that block. So I pulled out, I jumped on a highway. This was some real movie shit. I don't want to sound like Zeke, because Zeke's stories be sounding crazy. But I jump on whatever highway is the wrong way. And I'm driving on oncoming traffic, like on the I, like if it's I-95, I'm driving on oncoming traffic, weaving all the traffic, and then HUD is like, Gil, they're not behind us, I think we good. But then I look down and I see mad blood. I'm like, yo, I think I didn't feel nothing, but I was like, yo, I think I'm hit. And so I finally got off the highway, and then the car broke down, kind of like, I can't tell, but it looked like projects. And I'm like, why would we break down right by the project? But the streets is so flooded, it's crazy. So the car break down, I run up the mad people window bleeding, like, yo, can you take me to the hospital? They like, yo, get away from here. Like, yo, you all shot up gas. And then one person recognized me, this dude, he's like, oh shit, Cam. I was like, yo, I'm shot. Can you take me to the hospital? So I jumped in with him. It's mad traffic. I'm just sitting in traffic. I'm like, yo, you gotta get me to the hospital. This nigga calling niggas, yo, Cam shot, I got him in the whip. I say, yo, bro, could you just get me to the hospital? And then
You remember his name?
Nah, I actually don't. And I wish I could send him something. Cause when I pulled up, I didn't know where I was bleeding from. I just knew it was blood. And then when I pulled up to the hospital, I just ran in the ER. And then I basically was in the ER, and then, you know, they probably put me to sleep. Everybody came over there. And then when I woke up, the cops was there.
The shooter and his accomplice crashed the getaway car into a parked vehicle and fled on foot. Metro Police recovered a cell phone at the crash scene. They had leads. They had witnesses. They had a celebrity victim who, by his own account, got a clear look at the gunman. Cam told them nothing.
They like, you see, you know, the regular shit, da-da-da. I'm like, I really don't know who did it, et cetera, et cetera. And that's kind of what happened. I ended up actually going to jail behind that shit because I was on probation at the time. And they was like, if you don't cooperate, then we violating your parole because you wasn't supposed to be in DC anyway. I told the judge I was working, and I said, you gave me permission to leave anytime I'm working. And the judge was like, you have to get permission every time you leave. I said, well, I misunderstood. And he's like, well, now you understand, you're on the Rikers.
And here's where it gets complicated, because years later, the real reason for the shooting came out, and it wasn't a random carjacking. Dame Dash revealed that Cam was targeted specifically because of a line he said in the 2002 film Paid in Full.
And the problem is, you know, it's a movie, but you don't play a guy that snitched on Washington and then go to Washington with a Lamborghini and stay in the same neighborhood that he had issues in for 3 or 4 days. So from what I was told, they was like, yo, you can't just disrespect us and go to Washington and you just played this dude that told on a lot of people from our neighborhood and they just got aggravated. So I think Cam was just playing that. I wouldn't have done that. Because when he got shot, what the was you doing there in the first place? With a drop top. And you just played this man and you going around the neighborhood where people are going to be triggered. And he got people triggered and they pulled the trigger. And hopefully he's learned, don't do no shit like that. That's why I don't have any convertibles. You know what I'm saying? It's because it could hit you, you know what I mean? That's crazy. To go into that hostile environment after you've done these things and stay for days, you know, you might get shot. I didn't want him to get shot, but he definitely was against it. And it was a bit of an argument, but he still respected it and did it. But also, I wanted him to say that because Paul, you know, homeboy had said that. So if you look at the Feds one of the magazines, they did a story on him, he said this shit. So I just repeated what he said. When he said, still gonna be on my dick, pause. He said, when I get home, it's still gonna be on mine. That's what I read. Maybe I say allegedly, but I remember reading that, so that's why I put that in there. So really, I understood that he would come home because he told. He told me he told. I had a conversation with him on the phone, but I didn't know he told. Once he told me he told, I was like, yeah, I'll talk to you later. And I wasn't talking to him no more. Because I was like, he was telling me he killed Rich, and I'm like, yo, you know we on the phone, right? He's like, man, I told everything. I told them everything. And then he sent a message to someone else. Like, yo, someone else shouldn't talk so much because I didn't tell, you know, I didn't mention his name. You know? But Jay Black and a lot of the people I'm talking about, that was, you know, Rich Porter's lieutenant. He made the movie with me. So I always wanted to tell it from his eyes because he was right with him. And then because we got hit by work with him, and everyone that I know was working with him, and we were all friends. You understand what I'm saying? Except Daniel. And then, you know, it's like a lot of people were getting money in Harlem. A lot. There's also a prequel to be told, which at some point I would love to do. But what I don't think people understand is like you can't profit from your crimes. So there's a Son of Sam law. Maybe put it in the chat. And I'm not saying the chat's always right, but it can give you some direction. So a lot of people think when they come home from jail, they can sell the rights to their story, and they can't. There's a way that you could do it, but you can't. Like any money that comes has to go to like the victims or some shit like that, or to some kind of a charity. But you personally can't make money from your crimes.
He took a bullet for a line he didn't even want to say, and he still didn't tell.
Absolutely right. I did shoot a video with my arm in a sling and do a song talking about everything, not knowing that my arm was shot, that my nerve was shattered. So after I shot the video and after I did the song, maybe about 2 weeks after that, I had got surgery on my arm. Hold on, let me show you since you so amp about it. Hold on. Let me show you real quick. I got surgery right here on the arm. I also got shot in my other arm to where it went straight through and didn't hit a nerve. That's why this arm is okay. I also got shot in this arm, but it went straight through and it didn't hit any nerve, so it was able to heal. Basically, okay, pardon me. What happens is now, this right here, it grows 1 millimeter a day, which is smaller than a centimeter. So it's going to take a year or a little bit more to get the feeling all the way back up to here. So right here, from here to here, it grows 1 millimeter a day. So I won't be getting the feeling back in my arm and my 2 fingers, I should say, for maybe a year.
For 2 years, Camron's silence was street legend. It reinforced everything he represented. You couldn't touch him. You couldn't break him. He got shot and went back to work. His album dropped months later. But in April 2007, Camron agreed to sit down with Anderson Cooper on 60 Minutes.
Rapper Camron has made millions from his lyrics about life in the mean streets of Harlem. And a big part of his hip-hop culture is keeping your mouth shut when the cops come around. He told CNN's Anderson Cooper on 60 Minutes why he'd rather be silent than a snitch.
You were shot in both arms?
Yes.
And you have nerve damage in one of them?
Yes.
Does it still hurt?
Oh yeah, definitely. Feels like my hand is numb. It's in an ice box all day.
The segment was about hip-hop's relationship with the Stop Snitching movement. Cooper asked Cam about why he didn't cooperate with police after being shot.
If you had seen who shot you, would you have told police?
No.
Cooper pushed further.
Why?
Because the type of business I'm in, it would definitely hurt my business. And the way that I was raised, I just don't do that. I was raised differently, not to tell.
A lot of people, though, hearing that are going to say that that's not a good thing.
The people that say it's not a good thing are most likely the people that don't buy my records. You know what I'm saying? The people that buy my records kind of understand where I'm coming from. I have a fan base of 500,000 people, which means every time my album comes out, I sell 500,000 on a good day, on a bad day. On a great day, I sell 2 million records. So basically, the people who would say that that isn't a good thing, I don't think those are the same people that buy my album. The people that buy my music will understand why I'm saying what I'm saying.
So for you, it's really about business?
It's about business, but it's still also a code of ethics. Like I said, I'm raised from where we wasn't raised to tell. You wasn't brought up to say, hey, this guy did that, this guy did that. It's kind of like, not saying go do something bad to the person who did something to you, but it's kind of policing your own community.
If there's a serial killer living next door to you, though, and you know that person is, killing people, would you be a snitch if you called police and told them?
If I knew the serial killer was living next door to me?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't call and tell anybody on them, but I'll probably move. Like, I'm not going to be around because I don't need to be living around serial killers, but I'm not going to call and be like, put the signs up like, yo, the serial killer's in 4E.
It's not your responsibility.
Exactly. Tell anybody on them, but I'll probably move. Like, I'm not going to be around because I don't need to be living around serial killers, but I'm not going to call and be like, put the signs up like, yo, the serial killer's in 4E.
It's not your responsibility.
Exactly.
Is there any situation where you think it's okay to talk to the police?
Yeah, definitely. Say hello, how you feel, everything all right, period.
The clip exploded. Mainstream America was horrified. The backlash was immediate and national. His sponsors pulled back. Radio did the same. The narrative flipped from street legend who survived being shot to rapper who wouldn't report a serial killer. He was forced to issue a public apology. The statement explained the real stakes in communities like he came from, that cooperating with police makes you a target for further violence, that the situation is different when you live where he lived.
Thanks for being here. First, when you saw that video of Diddy, Cassie in that hotel, did you recognize that Sean Combs from your experiences?
I don't know like that. What do you mean, do I be recognized? Did I recognize him? I seen him. What do you mean my experiences? I seen him and I thought it was disgusting. I didn't do a zoom in to see if it was really him or nothing, but he admitted it was him, so yeah, it was him.
What did you think about the apology that he gave in that other video?
Ain't me for this. The apology ain't for me to decide, it's for Cassie.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? I mean, is there something known in the industry about how Diddy treated his artists?
So I'm going to get some cheeks after this horsepower joint. But my show does come on at 8 a.m. Eastern on YouTube. It's called It Is What It Is, and y'all make sure y'all check it out. I mean, I might get some more information out of Mace from there, but for me to tell you how Puff acted and all that, I don't know. I never was signed to him.
Yeah. What about the industry in general? I mean, so many people have pointed out that Diddy couldn't get away with this stuff if there weren't a lot of people protecting him. Do you think that's the case?
Who the talent agent for this joint? Like, you think I'll be sitting around watching what Diddy do and all this? I didn't know this was a Diddy joint that y'all invited me to. Yo, who booked me for this joint?
All right.
Wow, and I don't be sitting
Camron,
around watching Diddy and all that. Yeah,
thanks.
Man, come on, man.
Thanks for joining us. Thank you for your time tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're kind of the perfect person to ask about this, Cam. So you know that there's that special interview of you on CNN 60 Minutes, and they asked you about snitching. You said, if I knew the serial killer was living next to me, I wouldn't call and tell nobody on them, but I'd probably move, but I'm not putting the signs up. That goes viral all the time, even to this day. Just curious, what led to that conversation, and then how do you feel about the interview that you had?
There was a whole thing about no snitching, and what 60 Minutes did was edit out a lot of shit that I said. And this is a good time to talk about that because we're just talking. First of all, what you have to realize, and what I said that they edited out was this, is that because you snitch on somebody doesn't mean you get a conviction. So let's say that you live in an urban environment and for instance, right, let's say you're part of a drug ring or whatever, or a murder case or whatever, and we all live in the same environment. And I go to court and I go to court and me and live in the same neighborhood. I'm just giving an example. I go to court and I snitch. Because I snitch on, that doesn't mean he's getting convicted. So now if he gets off, you got to come home to that same environment and look this nigga in the face every day. So therefore now you, not just the whole neighborhood is looking at you like, nah, this nigga, tell, get away from him. And now you have to live there thinking about that. That's first and foremost. Because just because, that's what I said 60 Minutes that they cut out. Just because you tell doesn't mean the person you tell on is going to jail. It doesn't mean you tell they get convicted. You have no idea, and then you go back home to that environment, and now you're an outcast for telling. That's first and foremost. Then secondly, what I said that they didn't put up is that cops have the blue shield where they don't tell on each other.
Right.
So now if a cop does some foul shit.
That's a good point.
Right. Now if the cop does some foul shit to a citizen and his partner's there and his partner doesn't stop it or his partner doesn't say, report it, and then now if he tells on his partner, he's a snitch for telling on his partner. It's called the blue shield, the blue wall, whatever shit they call it. And they didn't put that on 60 Minutes. So you got cops doing foul shit to people, and they're not allowed to tell on their partner or their coworker or so on and so forth. So therefore, they'll be snitches if they tell on their coworker. And that's part of the stuff that I talked about on 60 Minutes they edit out. They try to make me look like I'm crazy and I'm high and all this shit, which I was high, but I knew what the fuck I was talking about. But that's the case also. Cops don't snitch on other cops. So you want a citizen to go snitch, and then they may snitch and got to live in the same society as somebody who gets off. So as far as the clip on 60 Minutes is concerned, they cut a lot of shit out.
But the damage was done. And here is the part of the story nobody talks about. Because while the outside world was reacting to the 60 Minutes interview, something far more dangerous was happening inside the Diplomats.
Hello?
Ken, what's up, baby?
50, what up, baby?
Everything
I
good.
I just wanted to step in because I heard you could shut things down over here, and I just want to make sure what's going on. You know, they owe me some things over here. I just wanted to see what's going on. You can shut down Diplomat projects?
I'm not talking about Diplomats. Ken,
Huh?
you really want that?
Nah, that's what I was asking. Can you do it? That's what I'm asking.
What I'm saying to you is, listen, let me explain something to you.
Jim Jones is on an independent. Lloyd Banks is on Yellow.
But Lloyd Banks has more money than Jim Jones, and when you want to talk on that level. See, you get ready to turn it into something else. Check this out.
What is you talking about? Then you like Prodigy? Come over here.
Yeah, I let him do a deal over there because he asked to do the deal over there, and I said, you know what? You can go if you want to do that.
How much Mobb Deep sold this year?
All right, y'all gotta.
Curtis. Yo, Curtis, how much did Mobb Deep sell this year?
You're not going to be, you can ready to cause a whole different situation. Watch this.
How much
Let's not make it a different situation.
He thinks that it's good. He thinks that it's good to go in the competition. I'm not going to stop competing.
How much did the mob sell, Curtis?
50 Cent has always said publicly that he studies the art of war. And in 2007, while Cam was absorbing the fallout from 60 Minutes,
I just got a two-way talking about Curtis is talking about I won't come outside. I'm in my motherfucking vacation home because it's going to be a real motherfucking hot summer, man, for everybody.
50 made his move. He stated publicly that he baited Jim Jones, brought him into G-Unit spaces, had Jim on Rap City talking about how G-Unit was one of the few movements he respected. Then, the kill shot, 50 brought Jim Jones and Santana out as surprise guests during a live show.
And I'm back. It's your boy 50 Cent bringing you more Rap City. It's going down right here. I know this is your favorite show right now because I'm on it. And I told y'all earlier I was going to bring somebody new in the G-Unit. I might have a new signing, I might not. You see, I got the whole G-Unit here. We're going to get it going. What you got back there? Oh, man. Hey, what you know? What you know? What's it? It's your man Jim Jones right here. Bought you the biggest record of last year, right?
Oh yeah, we had a nice
what we
time
call
last
that one?
year.
What we call that
was
one?
balling. We still balling. What's poppin', big baby?
It's balling. You know, so
man, we got this.
So why was you here? Right? We gotta do that one time. Tell me how to show you how you do it.
You got to pass me the ball for
That's how we gotta do that.
That was the ball, baby.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just came to show some support. You know, I respect G-Unit is one of the few movements that I do respect in this game and things like that. You know me, I'm a hustler, so I'm always open for money and things like that. But
that's what this is. This is the ultimate hustler version of Rap City right here.
It's still Diplomats though, baby.
Yeah, let's talk about how like what you got going on.
Oh, now you know I got a new deal pending. I don't want to break no hearts and shake the tables too much, but somebody to offer me a whole bunch of money that I can't refuse and things like that.
Well,
but,
don't blow that till negotiations is done.
I'm not going to blow that up too much, but I think it's pretty much done. You dig? But besides that, the album coming out, y'all look forward to that Bird Gang album, Dipset, G-Unit. Don't be scared.
That's right. We brought you Jim Jones. We brought you Jim Jones, and be surprised because we got more surprises to come. More Rap City.
Cam was actively beefing with 50 Cent at the time. His own team stood on stage with his enemy. Jim Jones later confirmed what everyone already suspected. Jim and Cam hadn't spoken in a year. Jim kept quiet out of loyalty. He stated he felt like if we can't be friends, at least we can do business together. But now I can't be next to you. He was through with being involved in problems because of Cam. It was over. The brotherhood Cam had protected, that he had taken bullets for, that he had gone on national television and embarrassed himself for, that he had built from Harlem street corners to Billboard charts, crumbled from the inside. Not because of the shooting, not because of 60 Minutes, because 50 Cent understood something Cam didn't. Loyalty can be weaponized. Show one man the door to another team, and the whole house falls.
50, what you did, so we was having interior problems at Dipset. Nobody knew about this. Nobody knew that we was like not on the same page.
Right.
So when me and you were battling during our music thing, you got members of Dipset to come to your show. And I'm like, so I'm sitting there like,
yeah, that was
this is kind of smart, because I wouldn't have thought about reaching out to Yayo or Lloyd Banks. I'm like, niggas going public with this?
I'm like, yo.
What was your thought process behind saying, yo, you know what? Fuck the songs. How did this work?
Let me say this, look.
How'd it go?
I was there. I'm in your horse and carriage video. I'm in the pool.
What? You know what? You told me this.
Your horse and carriage video.
You told me this before.
I was in the pool in the horse and carriage.
Wow, that's crazy.
So if you look, like when everybody's there,
right?
Jimmy was not a rapper then.
Right.
He was your man, like on the side, like in the side, just he was not a rapper at all.
Right.
So when balling took place, and I'm looking and I'm going, oh, he having a moment. That's the Lloyd Banks. It's Lloyd Banks thing. He wanted that. He was watching them be that, like Mace be that, and Cam be that, and looked at, and it was finally he had one.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked, and I knew I just took the shot, Murder, to see, because I wasn't sure he was gonna go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam. You gotta watch to see how he responds. And then when you see, he like, oh shit, he really like that. Hey, get me Jimmy. Yeah, tell him we want you at the show, Jimmy.
And I'm back. It's your boy 50 Cent bringing you more Rap City. It's going down right here. I know this is your favorite show right now because I'm on it. And I told y'all earlier I was going to bring somebody new in the G Unit. I might have a new signing, I might not. You see, I got the whole G Unit here. We're going to get it going. What you got back there? Ah! Oh, man. Hey, what you know? What you know? It's your man Jim Jones right here. Bought you the biggest record of last year, right?
Oh yeah, we had a nice
what we
time
call
last
that
year.
one? What we call that
was
one?
balling. We still balling.
Yo, but that was one of those things I just threw it out and see what. And then when he bit to it, because it was like he was having a moment that not sure that was going to ever happen again at that point. And then he's going, for them, they had records that were, look, I always say this to certain artists, I go, damn, when is he going to have his moment? Like, Fab, I said this to him.
Mm-hmm.
I said, damn, but you really, I think his, cuffing season was that fun. But it wasn't it wasn't the hit like that because it was talking exactly about what was going on at the moment. But the way he brought La Marina and all of the stuff, it was the hottest joint.
What was going on
in that
exactly
summer.
at the time. In the
So I'm like, yo, that I jumped on the remix because the record was going without us. Like, so I was like, yeah, now I'm
right.
I got you. I do that, and then like we performed that joint. How many times did we perform that record on tour?
Yeah,
a couple of times. Because it felt like a 50 Cent record to me. Like I was like, this is it. Like, but he didn't have like for a lyricist like a guy that's that intricate with the writing. He didn't have a full on moment that was like Fab's the nigga. Period. Right now, like he had a lot of hit records on R&B artists. Like a lot of real hot verses that came, but it was on somebody else's joint.
Right.
It's like, look, Dirk's run is like that. Dirk's biggest records are somebody else's record that he's on. Instead of his solo records by himself. Like solo records make your hair stand up because they're talking some killer shit on there. But the records that really made them a success is usually a collaboration between him and another artist that they're working on. But I was looking, going, when are you going to have that moment specifically? And I know Jimmy was looking at that like it was someone else at the top of our culture acknowledging.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
How you felt when Jim did that shit, Cam?
So it's over.
It's over.
No, because this is what happened. So, like, you know, Fifth had sent niggas to my office with black roses and a little coffin. And I was like, all right, cool. Then I did the video. So I was like, all right, cool, this is cool. I remember this real talk. I was on probation at the time. My probation officer was like, come down to probation or we're going to lock you up on Thursday. I'm like, what the fuck I did? And New York City Intel was there. And New York City Intel said, what's going on with you and 50 Cent? I said, it's some music shit. What the fuck are you talking about? They said, well, this it just seems like it's more than me. I said, yo, he puts people out of business. I got to respond.
After 2007, Cam never recaptured what he had. Santana drifted to his own business deal, and the others created their own lane. The Diplomats as a unit were finished. The project he was promoting the night he got shot underperformed commercially. Without a unified Dipset machine behind him, and with the 60 Minutes cloud hanging over him, his mainstream momentum stalled. He stayed relevant. The respect never fully left. Purple Haze continued to grow in legacy. He formed a podcast that built a new audience. He and Jim Jones patched things up, fell out again, patched it up, and as of early 2026 are reportedly not on speaking terms again, still running the same cycle nearly 20 years later. And the shooter, never found, never charged. The DC Metro Police investigation went cold. All those witnesses, all those leads, a cell phone recovered at the scene. Nobody talked. Here is the question that never goes away with Cam's story. He honored the no-telling code completely. He took the bullet. He kept his mouth shut when 60 Minutes put a camera in his face. He absorbed the backlash. He watched his career take the hit, and the empire he was protecting it for fell apart anyway. Not from the outside, from within, from the people who were supposed to hold the same code he was dying by. That's the part of the story that doesn't get told. The code didn't protect the Diplomats. The Diplomats broke a different code on each other, and Cam was the last one still holding it. Please like if you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more stories like this, subscribe. Jump in the comments, who do you think should be covered next?
According to police, Camron was here at the intersection of New York and New Jersey in his Lamborghini when he was approached by two suspects in an expedition. One of those suspects got out of the car, walked up with a gun, shots were fired, the suspect got back into the expedition and took off. Investigators say that expedition ended up crashing into Dario Arnaud's 1995 Honda Accord in the 600 block of U Street Northwest.
And unfortunately, my car, I've only had for a week.
Dario says he didn't realize until later the crash was connected to the shooting.
Holy cow. And I heard that Camron was shot.
Somebody tried to take my car from me, shot me through the window, and I rode off. That was basically it. It was a sloppy job on their part.